equations given a point and a slope. By the end of this video, you should be able to use a point and a slope to write the linear equation in slope-intercept form. You should also be able to graph a linear equation from slope-intercept form. So we've previously talked about slope-intercept. To remind you, that's where the equation of the line is written as y equals mx plus b. That's the easiest way to graph because you can graph the point for the y-intercept and then count the slope from there. Sometimes you only know a single point from the line and the slope, and so we can use this equation in order to solve for our linear equation in slope-intercept form. So let's take a look at this. So if we have a point and we're naming this point x sub 1, y sub 1. So you can see how they'd be plugged in right here. So you're going to plug in this spot, whatever the y value from the point is, in this spot, whatever the x value from the point, and you're going to plug in your slope. And we're going to have to do some algebra, follow our order of operations in order to write our final equation in slope-intercept form. So let's try a couple and see how we do. So our first one, we have the point 4, 1. So this is really your x1 and your y1, okay? And we have a slope of 1. So we want to take this and we're going to use this formula and plug in this information. This y and this x stay as y and x. Alright, so let's take it. We have y minus y1. So y minus and y1 is 1 equals, and then it says m, our m is 1, parenthesis, the x stays in x, minus, and whatever our x1 is, which is 4. Okay, now that everything's plugged in, we're going to start simplifying things. There's nothing yet to do on this side. We're going to distribute our 1 through, and you're multiplying by 1, so it's not going to change anything because 1 times x is x, and 1 times negative 4 is negative 4. Now you're going to solve for y, because remember we want this to be in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So let's add 1, use our inverse operations. This cancels out, and I get y equals x, negative 4 plus 1 is minus 3. So here's the slope-intercept form of our line. Now we can graph that like we were graphing before. So we're going to start where y is negative 3, 1, 2, 3. And we have a positive 1 slope. There's really a 1 right there. So that says go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. So we get these points. If I wanted to go the other direction to add more points to this side, instead of up and right, I'd go down and left to continue my pattern. Okay, then we'll draw our line. Alright, let's try it again. Alright, so let's take a look at our second problem. We have x sub 1, y sub 1, and we have our slope. So let's plug them in. Y minus y1, which is 4, equals my slope, which is 1/2, times x minus x1, which is 2. Alright, so let's start working. There's nothing to, we got to start simplifying. We can't do anything on the left yet. We're going to distribute the 1/2 through. So 1/2 times x is 1/2 x. And 1/2 times negative 2 becomes negative 1, because if you look at it, 1/2 times negative 2, which is really over 1, you'll get negative 2 over 2, which simplifies to a negative 1. Okay? Now, to move the 4 over, let's use our inverses and add it. So you get y equals 1/2 x, negative 1 plus 4 is plus 3. So if you start at the y of 3, 1, 2, 3, and you have a slope, so that's up 1 and right 2, up rest of the pattern. And then we'll take our handy dandy ruler and draw our line in and put some arrows on the end. Okay. See if you can set this one up in the equation before we solve it together. Pause the video and set it up, and then let's see what happens. Alright, so taking a look, so the y value is 0, so we go y minus 0, 2/3 times x minus negative 6. So what's going to happen right here is that minus a negative will become a positive. So y minus 0 is just y. So we can go ahead and just drop that off. And we have 2/3 is going to be distributed through, so we'll have 2/3 x. Now 2/3 times 6, if you look at it like that, you're going to get 12/3, which is 4. And it'll be a positive 4 because it's a positive times a positive. And there's our slope intercept. So we're going to go to where y is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it says go up 2 and right 3. Up 2, right 1, 2, 3. Up 2, right 1, 2, 3. If you want to make some points going the opposite direction, instead of up and right, you're going to go down and left. Down 2 and left 1, 2, 3. Down 2, left 1, 2, 3. Okay? Then I'll take my ruler, line them up, and draw my line. Alright, let's try flipping this over. Well, let me show you number 6. Number 6 is a pretty interesting case. So let's go ahead and get it set up. So we have y minus whatever the y is, which is negative 4, equals your slope, which is 0, times x minus whatever the x is, which is 3. So when we have it set up, now we have minus a negative, so that's really a plus. All right, y plus 4 equals, well, when I multiply this parenthesis by 0, the whole parenthesis becomes 0. Because 0 times anything is 0. Okay? So I still want to get y alone. It looks kind of weird because everything went away on the right-hand side, so it's just 0. So let's go ahead and use our inverse operations. And we get y equals negative 4. So remember, this is one of those special case lines. It's either an undefined or a 0 slope line. So let's remember, this says go through the y-axis at the number negative 4. So if y-axis 1, 2, 3, 4 down, and remember, it's saying all the y's equal negative 4. Well, this y is negative 4, and this y is negative 4. If we name these points, all of these points, the y values are negative 4. So we have a nice horizontal line. So we did 0 rising. We didn't go up or down at all. So 0 rise over lots of run. So that's a 0 slope line. Okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to do number 7. Stop the video. Completely do number 7 all the way on your own. Find the equation and graph it and come back and see how you did. Alright, let's see how you did. So I set this up. I plugged in when I needed to plug in. And I had x minus negative 4, so I went ahead and changed it to x plus 4. Then we've got to distribute our negative 1/4. So negative 1/4 times x is negative 1/4 x. And then negative 1/4 times 4 is negative 4 over 4, which is negative 1. Okay, so I had y minus 1 equals negative 1/4 x minus 1. Get the y alone, I added 1 to both sides, so y equals negative 1/4 x, and negative 1 plus 1 is plus 0. You can put that if you want to, but usually the plus 0 wouldn't be listed there. So to graph this says my y-intercept is 0, that's your origin, and it's negative 1/4, so it says go down 1 and right 4. So down 1, right 4, down 1, right 4. Hopefully that was helpful, and I'll see you in class.